Go Habs go, you know it. Thanks for joining, Jody. We're just going to get started in a couple of minutes here. As always, you can check out the game highlights as they happen. Of course, nothing's happened yet, but you can check out the game highlights once we get going. Let me put up that link for y'all. There you go. So, yeah, well, pretty big news tonight. Obviously, no Mike, no Mike. So Jacob Fowler's in nets, which is already pretty big. Then you got no Mike Matheson for the first time this season, which is obviously a huge uh, gap because he's the defenseman who plays the most on this team. So I don't really know how they're going to be able to fill that gap. I guess we're finally going to see Noah Dobson, their big $9.5 million man, actually play 25, 27 minutes, which is what I think a lot of people expected when they got him. But he's still playing less than Mike Matheson most nights, but no Matheson tonight, so I think we'll see him quite a bit. And of course, Jacob Fowler will be playing his first game ever at the Bell Center. So yeah, Jacob Fowler has started 2 games so far, win and a loss, and I don't know how we feel about that loss. It was kind of just like a messy game against the Rangers. I wouldn't say it was his fault. Definitely the defense was not so great. And then Dobes came in on Sunday against the Edmonton Oilers, and the Habs played what Martin St. Louis called the best game of the season. So I have a lot of questions for you guys. Wait for more people to come in, obviously, but yeah, was Sunday night the best game of the season? I feel like it might have been. Not out of the realm of possibility that that was the best game of the season. Obviously, the Oilers are a very good offensive team, so the fact that they did not only allowed 1 goal, and Dobes was obviously instrumental in that. All right, let's see what's going on. Odds are? Do we want to go odds wise? If we go to Polymarket, 52% of gamblers are taking the Habs tonight. But more Flyers fans, 69%, are taking the spread, which has the Flyers at plus 1.5. And then the over under tonight is a mere 5.5. So, if you guys are up on that, great decision to send Monty to Laval. Hi, Steven, by the way. Great decision to send Monty to Laval and get 2 weeks of constant play. So, interesting that the 2 weeks that you put there, because Renaud Lavoie seems to think that Montembeault will be back by the weekend. He thinks that this is just like a 2 start, get the boy right. So I don't know. It might not be 2 weeks, but obviously with the break, they have the chance to like let him down a little longer. Obviously, they could also just play it by ear. But I think at the end of the day, if he's playing well, they're not going to want to trust two rookie goalies. Like if Montembeault is not a complete, sieve beach ball giver upper, they'll put him back in. But for now, he gets to go to Laval. He's get right. He has 10 days to find his game before the Habs have to recall him. Yeah, exactly. So Rene Lavoie suggests that it might be less than that. They just want him to get a couple games in. But we'll see. Sam Montembeault was hit really hard by the flu. He'll play 2 games and rejoin the team in Pittsburgh. Yeah, that's exactly what Rene Lavoie said, that Montembeault had the flu last week. I didn't know that. But I had the flu last week, so if they say he had the flu last week, I'm sure he had the flu last week. Hello, Darcy. Best game of the season defensively against the Oilers. Yeah, I think so. I think so, right? Jack scores tonight. Hey, Max. Jack scores tonight. You heard it here first, people. So that'd be 2 goals this season for Jack to be not consecutive, right? No, he didn't score on Sunday, so not consecutive, but 2 goals. John still says 14 days. Yes, what I've heard is 14 days, not 10 days. And then I don't know how the Christmas holidays falls into that, right? Because there's 3 days or so where players can't be moved. So does that then mean that this 14-day stint extends to 17 days? I don't know. But as it stands, he's available. You got to call him back up December 30th. Hello, hey, how you doing? I hope the Sepulchre has worked for you. It has. Where's my Oh no, I think in my rush to grab one the other day, I misplaced the rest of the package, so I have to be good. I've got water tonight. I'm not sick anymore. My throat is a little meh because it's just that time of year, but I think I'm okay. Nick Delorier is in the lineup, one of our faves. So is anybody gonna drop the gloves with him? Flyers are actually good. They actually are playing pretty well this year. So maybe the impetus not to fight tonight. We'll see what happens. I hope Monty handles this right mentally. I will say, Max, because he's a veteran, the conditional stint, he had to agree to it. So I think he's well aware that his game is not right now, and that just constantly getting put back in there is not helping. So my guess is that he's totally cool. He's going to go down, and he's going to work, practice. See if he can just get his technique right again. Low Native XD. I think Montembeault is done. He ain't coming back. I mean, this is this is a competitive league, right? What was the name of the guy who replaced who Lou Gehrig replaced? You guys remember this? Wally Pipp for the New York Yankees. Wally Pipp was an all-star, great player. Took a day off. Lou Gehrig took a spot. The rest is history. Lou Gehrig was had the streak of most games played until Cal Ripken passed him. You never know when that can happen in the NHL. Jacob Fowler pitches a shutout tonight, and they keep him in. And Dobes, proves that the Sunday game wasn't a fluke, and he's back on track. What are you gonna do? If they're too good, you're not gonna put him back in. So Fowler can't be sent down to the AHL during the Christmas break. Correct. If everybody who's up when they lock in the rosters on the 23rd or something, then he's here. And for him, hey, it's nice little paycheck bonus to be around, just to be on the roster. I hope Jackeye and Struble are paired tonight. Those two hombres have the ability to punish forwards. Let me check who the lines are tonight in 1 second. Okay. There we go. Struble Dobson, eh? All right. Do what you got to do. Here are the lines for tonight. So Caulfield, Suzuki, Bolduc, Slavkovsky, Kapanen, and Demidov, Texier, Beck, Anderson, Veleno, Evans, Gallagher. And then the defense, obviously with Matheson out, we've got Hudson and Carrier, Struble, Dobson, and Jacky Engstrom. Okie dokie. So let me know who's gonna pick up the most slack. That's my question for you guys. Who's going to pick up the slack with Matheson out? Is it just going to be it's just Hudson and Dobson going to play 30 minutes tonight? Do you think you could see like Jacky taking a step up? Is Engstrom going to finally get like a 20-minute night and see what he can do? Monty is coming back. Montreal needs a veteran goalie. Dobes and Fowler are not ready to handle the lows of the NHL season without a veteran. I think in the ideal world, Monty will be back, but obviously, who knows? You really don't know ever. Monty will be back. Remember, they still do have, and I know he hasn't been great in Laval, but Kaapo Kähkönen is still a guy under contract that if they feel they need a veteran, and I don't know, who knows what happens. Not to say that they should bring a fourth goalie into this menage a trois here, making a menage a quatre, but they could. Hudson will pick up the most slack. Engstrom, Carrier will get more time. By the way, guys, is it just me, or has Alexander Carrier the last week not been terrible anymore? I think he's been pretty decent. This is a big development because he was, I think, their worst defenseman for a little bit of a stretch there. Jacky is 0-2, but his fight with Delorier in his rookie year was a draw. Jacky would probably get second PK. Yeah, I mean, God, it's time. They need a big... Is Jacky not capable of being just a big body in front of the net on the PK? Do they? I know they don't really trust him to do that, but I feel like it's not the hardest thing to be in the world. But I don't know. I could be wrong. You'd love to see him on the point on the second power play. Wouldn't that be fun? Jacky will get more PK time. Nobody else has played PK except Dobson, Jacky, and Carrier. Yeah, you'd have to think so. He should play a lot. You'd think that he'd be a very good penalty killer. I would think. But I guess there's more to it than that. The guy has a bomb. Jacky, by the way, I love that Jacky's goal this year, not a bomb. You're right. No, you're totally right. He's got a bomb, but I do love that he's also able to like just get the puck on net. And in that case, in that goal, he was able to get the puck on net. I loved it. Hiya, Karen. Happy to have you here. Monty can join my local rec team here in Labrador. It'll be tremendous. Yo, you're in Labrador tonight. Well, thank you so much for joining, and I hope it's not too cold there tonight. What time does the sun set there right now? Does the sun set a little earlier than here? Because here it was like about 4:30 and it was really depressing. I wonder if the price for tickets to Thursday just went way down because of Fowler. I don't think so. I don't think I find that the tickets move and shake that much for the Habs. They're always pretty expensive. But I have no doubt that there were some people trying to get in tonight. I mean, is this changing? Are we witnessing the changing of the guard here? Like, is Fowler going to ever get sent back down, or is this just like the beginning of the Fowler era for the Canadiens? I don't know. I don't know yet. Poor Mike, that near 5 minute shift was brutal for anyone, but he was all smiles on the bench. Is this Matheson? I have to admit, I didn't even get to watch Sunday's game. Sunday was my only day off, and I had to put up a Christmas tree, which I did not successfully do. I got up half of the Christmas tree. Getting up a Christmas tree takes a long time, guys. I don't know if you know this. Like all the decorations, like all the lights took forever. So, yeah. Yeah, Connor Bedard is out for a while. Shouldn't cost his Olympic chances, but minus 27 Celsius tonight in Labrador, and the sunset's at 4:30. Okay, so we have about the same sunset, but minus 20. Man, I think it's minus 5 in Montreal today, something like that. I just walked the dog. I just walked the dog, and I had my jacket on, but it wasn't too bad. It was minus 3. It was in the minus 10s last week in Montreal, but certainly no minus 27 yet. We'll wait till January for that. I think we had one minus 20 though, which in December is quite unseasonable. It's better for the team and Marty to learn to play without Matheson. Others can and will step up. Marty needs to develop faith in them too. That's an interesting thing to say. I do feel like Matheson plays a little too much. That he is just like so trusted. Would love to see a lot of Hudson Dobson tonight. A small break is a good thing in my opinion. I think so too. Not physically, but in Matheson's case, but mentally. Physically, that guy just seems like he can keep going and going and going and going and going. Really, just like he doesn't get tired, but I do think mentally he gets tired. Mentally, he starts to make mistakes. And I think that Matheson Dobson pairing was so good at the start of the season, and it hasn't been good for a while. They tried switching it up. So I think, honestly, I don't think you're totally wrong about Matheson. That being said, it's going to be a big hole. So we'll see how that goes. 7 and rain on Friday in Montreal. Yeah, no, the temp's going up, and we might not have a white Christmas after all. We had a white November, white December, and then a wet Christmas. That'd be sad. I like it when it's a snowy Christmas. Minus 27 ain't nothing. I went to school in minus 40 weather. Oh my God. My God. My family's from northern Sweden. They know a bit about that. I don't. I only visited there in the summer. All right, first period is underway. And we got an early 3-on-1 for the Flyers, and they shoot, and Fowler makes the save. Hello, Michael. Good to see you. Were there Struble and Dobson out in the opening minute here? I mean, Strubal's going to get, just because of injuries, man, Strubal's getting every opportunity to prove he's like a full time top six guy on this team. Oh, so we're getting rain and then snow on the weekend? Oh, I hate it when that happens. It's Fowler time. I like it. Yeah, I'll be here all game. Here till the bitter end. All right, nice try for the first line here. Cole Caulfield with a chance. So Hudson finds him from the point. Caulfield with a nice little like pump fake in the circle, catches the defenseman off guard, but the goalie's able to track that one. So that's pretty good. Who's the goalie tonight for the Flyers? Is it Urson? No, it's Vladar tonight. Vladar. All right. I mean, the one thing about Fowler that I keep enjoying is that he does not, if he doesn't have to give up a rebound, he will not. Ooh, the Flyers win the faceoff so well in the offensive zone that the puck shot all the way back to the Flyers zone. This isn't much of a storyline anymore, but the Demidov versus Mishkov thing. I feel like Habs fans, for the most part, don't talk too much about Mishkov anymore as like a one that got away. I don't know. Maybe you guys feel otherwise, but I don't hear it much anymore. Gallagher with a really nice job to waste some time and keep the puck in the zone. Well, it's not even end to end play. It's kind of just like blue line to blue line play. Neither team seems to be able to get the puck deep, and we haven't really had much in the way of whistles so far. Nice hit by Ristolainen on Nick Suzuki in the neutral zone. You know, Ristolainen's an interesting guy where he just seemed like his career was unraveling. Was getting really banged up in Buffalo. Went over to the Flyers. Was really banged up there, but the last couple of years been a real renaissance for him. really goes to show you sometimes these players, man, they are occasionally not healthy for like 2, 3 years in a row, and you think that they're done, and then suddenly they're healthy again, and are suddenly themselves. So now you never know. You don't always want to take the chance on that, but in terms of Ristolainen, feels like he's a top pairing guy again after just like not seeming like he was ever gonna survive as one. I like seeing Engstrom and Arbor together. Yeah, I like that pairing too. Engstrom needs I think, a physical guy with him too. He's just another like skilled, little lanky, but I think a physical guy. Mishkov didn't want to play here, so it's now irrelevant. Yeah, that's true. I think the general wisdom seems to be that he orchestrated getting drafted by the Flyers, so it's not no point worrying about it anymore. 30 centimeters of snow last Thursday, 15 on Sunday. Where's this? The top line had a kind of like 4-on-3 building, but it didn't work out. But I think more importantly, once it didn't work out and the Flyers went the other end, they were able to very quickly snuff out a potential odd man rush going the other way. So, all in all, no damage done at either end on that. Philly will be a good opponent for us tonight, but if we play smart, we can take them. Yeah, this to me is a very winnable game on the calendar. The Flyers are playing well, but they're not like a good team on paper. They seem like they're well coached. They seem like young and motivated, but the goaltending's not very good. They should be able to win. Reinbacker is playing 25 minutes in Laval right now. He is showing what I wanted when we drafted him. Yeah, further to the whole Mishkov thing. I think if you looked at the team today, and obviously you don't have that benefit when you draft, but when you look at the team today and you're like, what do the Canadiens need more? Another scoring winger or a potential top four defenseman? I think we would all agree that this team needs top four defensemen a lot more. Yeah, very unfortunate for the Hawks. No Bedard for a bit, and well, the Canadiens benefit, right, because they play them on Thursday. So again, beatable, especially at home. Not the Canadiens have played well at home, of course. Oh, nice little play by Gallagher there. Gallagher took the initial shot, hit the end boards, came back, and then Gallagher kind of like was able to get a second chance at it. So far, I've seen two nice shifts from Gallagher in the first period. He scored, was it a couple games now? A couple games ago for a second of the year. Not saying he's back, but you know, we've left Gallagher for dead before, and he's managed to come back. Be nice to see him be able to do that here. Cole will get one tonight, if not more. He has so far had the game's best chance, so we shall see. Bedard is out. Yes, Bedard is not playing. He will not be playing on Thursday against the Habs. So the Habs should have a very good chance against the Blackhawks. A reason to look forward to that big post-Christmas road trip. Oh, yeah, what's that one looking like? I haven't looked at the schedule in a minute. So we got this little homestand here, and then they're obviously in Pittsburgh on the 21st, on the Sunday. On the 23rd, they're in Boston. That's where they end before the break. And then they play 4 straight road games in Tampa, in Florida, in Carolina on the 1st, and then in St. Louis. Damn, that's not fun. That is not a fun trip. And then they come home. No, there's one more road game. On the 4th, they played the Stars. So it's a 5-game road trip between the 20th of December and January 4th. I hate that. You know what? It made them a big boy team last year. They actually went on that crazy, unwinnable road trip and won most of it. You know what? Kirby Doc's probably going to be back for that. I know when that happened last year, Patrick Laine came back and was amazing for them. Not saying Kirby Doc's going to do it, but he's got a chance to really like secure his position here on this team. Veleno looks like a young Max Pacioretty, sure does. Does not shoot like him though, unfortunately. Second face-off already tonight where the Flyer gets kicked out. If you guys are curious, our old pal Christian Dvorak is having a great season. A great season in Philadelphia. Hey, bang. Ask Knuckles if those road trips were fun. Knuckles always had fun on road trips. Knuckles had a little too much fun on road trips, he sometimes tells us. Uh, I mean, he had fun at home too, but he had fun on the road trips. Hage practicing playing on the first line for the World Junior Championships. That is going to be my favorite storyline for the World Junior Championships. Austin Matthews has 21 points this season. Somebody showed me a video of the shoulder injury that Matthews took last year. And then they did a side by side comparison of his points kind of before and after. So it really just sounds like Austin Matthews has messed up his shoulder and is not the player he once was. Now, we know with Cole Caulfield, it did take a year for Cole to get his timing back. So it's not the end for Austin Matthews, but for a guy who gets paid elite money in this league, he's not an elite player right now. And the shoulder seems to be the culprit. I like Devo. Yeah, I think most of us, most Habs fans, I think, did not like Devo for the bulk of that deal. He was hurt for most of that. Hurt and ineffective. Hey, Suzuki tried to split the D there, but wasn't able to. Try to create an odd man rush. Rick Tocchet must be happy to be in Philly. My God, he must be happy to be out of Vancouver. Everybody wants out of Vancouver now. I would ask you guys if there's a player from Vancouver, knowing that they've got a rebuild like coming up here, if there was any player from that team that you would want. But I feel like we've already discussed what's his name, Kiefer Sherwood, quite a bit, and most of you seem pretty interested in Kiefer Sherwood. Maybe there's somebody else. Oh, Ristolainen absolutely nailed Slavkovsky. He's okay, but I gotta say that was not a great pass by Engstrom. So what do you guys? I think it was the outlet pass from Engstrom. Yeah, look at that. I feel like the pass put Slavkovsky in a pretty like vulnerable position. What do you guys think? Yeah, what do you guys think of the hit though? I didn't think it was a good outlet pass. I think the pass caught him off guard and then he got hit. But stupid penalty. Ryan, you say it's a dive. Could be both, honestly. Clean hit. Yeah, I think it was a clean hit too. I think it was just the pass put him in a bad position. Rick also says clean hit. Clean, but it wasn't a cross check. He did a barrel roll. That's good. Ooh, Fowler made the save, but there was a rebound. He had no. There were so many bodies in front, no idea where the puck was. But Flyers were not able to convert. All right, the Habs are able to clear. There's about 30 seconds left in this power play. Keep your head up, kid. Yeah, no, for sure. Ristolainen's already got 2 big hits tonight. You do not want to be on the receiving end of one of those. All right, well, the penalty's been killed, but the puck is very deep in Montreal's zone. So the Flyers are probably. Nope, they get it out to center ice. There you go. Great kill by Evans. That was Kapanen that cleared that out. Who did I say? Did I say somebody else? All right, back to 5-on-5. Puck's dumped in to the Flyers zone. Let's see if they can get something created here. Interesting try by Ekstrom there. He was walking the blue line. Not exactly Lane Hudson there. He was walking the blue line and then wiped out taking a shot, but no harm done. So far, 4-3 in shots. So Fowler's made 4 saves. Um, Already 7 hits for the Flyers. So this game might be pretty physical tonight. I know you guys were talking about Delorier being in the lineup tonight, but they got some big boys on this team. I always thought the Canadians needed a Hathaway or Delorier. No Jack I could concentrate on his defense. Yeah, it's. I mean, it's tough nowadays to find a forward who can fight, who isn't like a total black hole in your lineup. There aren't that many of them out there. I think if the Blue Jackets had ever let Matthew Olivier go to free agency, I think the Habs would have been very interested, but they signed him to a long-term deal. Delorier's got his deal, and Delorier's barely an NHL player. Like there's some rough nights for him. Oh, nice tic-tac-toe passing by the Habs, but Bolduc missed the one-timer, missed the net on that one. Yeah, I just like don't know which fighters are available. Is there like a weird lighting issue right now at the Bell Center? I feel like there's a weird spotlight problem. There you go. Like in the corner specifically, it was a little strange. At least on the RDS broadcast. No, I'm getting it. I'm getting it here too. At this end. Very strange. That spotlight doesn't usually hit the ice like that. Ooh, nice. Canadians took another penalty. Nice pass by Konechny to Sandheim, who had come in from the point for a one-timer, and then the Habs trying to clear the net in front, take a penalty. That's our old friend Christian Dvorak in front of the net, getting tripped up by Carrier. That's just the penalty where, ooh, yeah, that one timer actually. What was that? Demidov? I thought it was Bolduc who hit it, but let's say it's Demidov. Actually, went went through Vladar's glove and hit the post. So we do. Yeah, it was Demidov who hit the post. Apologies. These dumb penalties are gonna hurt us. Yeah, they can't give the Flyers too many chances. Flyers are 0 for their last 11 on the power play in their last 4 games, but you do not want to give them too many chances to break that slump. That's for sure. Interesting stat from the RDS broadcast. The Habs are second in the league in minor penalties. You guys are probably not shocked by that revelation. There you go. That's a more successful clear by Dobson from behind the net. All right, we're a minute through this penalty kill here. Flyers have been unable to get set up in the zone. Fowler with a nice save and covers up the puck on the Drysdale point shot. Lots of practice on the PK. Hey, yeah, lots of practice without Matheson tonight. We see Engstrom out there on the PK. Okay. Good for him getting a little bit of PK time. Good to see Devo having some success. Always liked him as a player. He was incredible in junior. Yeah, he sure was. And after some lost seasons in Montreal where he just never seemed to be healthy, was very good, as you guys know, in the last like 40 games or so last season. And he's managed to keep it going for the Flyers, where he signed a 1-year deal worth about, what was it, 5.7 or 5.9. took a higher paying short-term deal, I think, because he was betting on himself, and because he's healthy, that's probably why. Yeah, very nice save, pad save by Fowler. Who was it who cleared that rebound, though? That was the real nice play. Penalty is killed, and the Flyers go off for a change, giving the Habs a chance to get back in this. Not liking Struble on the PK. He's struggling with the guys in front of them. I know he's not that good at that, which is weird to me. You'd think that'd be what he's good at. Oh, Gallagher with another move, deking past the D on the wing and getting a shot off the rush, man. I know, like, Gallagher's got his legs tonight, and he hits a guy on the way back to the bench. Okay. Philly's using Dvorak better than the Habs ever did. Yeah, whatever they're doing with him seems to be working. What's the latest on the new arena in Calgary? That's a good question. Calgary and Ottawa need new barns. Who's building? So our good friend Emil Heineman scored his 11th goal of the season, which is a new career high for him. So good for Emil out in Long Island. Oh, Hudson making so many moves and then setting up Suzuki with the perfect one-timer pass. Vladar kicked it away, but man, what a play by Hudson on that one. Really, basically single-handedly creating that offensive chance. Awesome stuff. To the surprise of no one, obviously Christian Dvorak was always really good at faceoffs, and the Flyers are currently 8 for 12. They've won 67% of their faceoffs so far, so not a shocker that Dvorak's doing well there. I didn't see deflection. I don't know what play you're talking about. I might have missed that one. Hudson with the dipsy doodles there. Yeah, exactly. Looking good. Good for Heineman. Yeah. Good player, undoubtedly. And the Islanders are doing pretty good, right? They're not having too bad a season. So I'll say that because I think it pertains to the Canadians. So Marco D'Amico, as you guys know, he's writes for a few places. Said that Deneau had asked for a trade, according to sources. Uh, well, Alan Walsh, Deneau's agent, goes, "Well, he never bothered to check with me." So now he didn't deny it, but he said you never checked with me. So I don't know. I don't know what that means. Look, I think we all know that they're trying to trade him. The new Sabres GM, yes, Jarmo Kekalainen, formerly of Columbus, is the new GM in Buffalo. Can he right that ship that has been wrong, steering in the wrong direction for a decade now? We shall see. Whatever Jarmo does, he ain't getting Jack Eichel back, that's for sure. Patrick Waugh has learned to be more calm behind the bench. Yeah, he's I feel like this iteration of Patrick Waugh, I wouldn't feel like is a powder keg if he were ever to come coach Montreal. I feel like this Patrick Waugh could maybe do it. I think the like cocky, tempestuous Colorado version of him was maybe not quite ready for prime time, but he's done a really good job in the Islanders. I can't deny that. Yeah, Dobson went to go play the puck along the end boards, and he just fell right into the boards. Nobody touched him. He just wiped out, but it looked very painful. I think it probably hurt more because he just wiped out and he wasn't ready for it. Looked like a trip. Did it? The Dobson play? It looked like nobody touched him, but I don't know. We'll have to. I'm sure they'll show the replay. Hey, it's 1-0 Habs. And guess who? Alexandre Texier has his third goal as a Montreal Canadien. Vive la France, guys. Vive la France. The pass was not meant for him. I don't know if the pass was meant for him. I think it was meant as a give and go with Carrier. There, Anderson enters the zone. Yeah, give and go with Anderson. Nope. Texas actually moving up the slot here. Yeah. It was Carrier who was expecting that pass. But nope. Texier. Yeah, Texas. I mean, that was a great turnover by Carrier in the neutral zone. And then nice play by Anderson to do the zone entry, drop back to Evans, and go straight to the net. It's better on Texier's stick than Carrier's. Yeah, that's for sure. Tex has a better shot than we thought. Kent Hughes is a genius. I mean, Texier is bringing some very, very badly needed bottom six scoring. He's even got Jake Evans and Josh Anderson going. Suzuki. I think, a little too pretty on that turnover. And that's going to lead to a goal. Carl Grundstrom scores, and I didn't love that backhand pass by Suzuki in the offensive zone. Causes the Flyers to go the other way. And the Hudson Carrier pairing is kind of a mess here. They leave Grundstrom all alone coming in off the rush in the slot. Not great. Not really much Fowler could have done on that one. I think his defense let him down, and again, did not love Suzuki's play in the offensive zone. All right, well, first period's over. Not bad. So the first period's over. 1-1's the score. Shots are 9-6 Philly. What'd you guys think? Well, on our way to 18 shots. Yes. Does this feel like another? I know Pat Hickey wrote about it last week, man. This team just does not shoot enough consistently. And is this just another game where they're not going to shoot much? Never good to give one up in the last minute. That's a very good point. You end up starting out well, and then doesn't you don't get any of that momentum going into the next period. All right, hold on. Let's check out the updates here. Interesting first period. Yeah, it was too many penalties for the Habs at the beginning, but they weathered the storm. Then they score a nice goal, and then they immediately give it back off kind of a lousy defensive effort. Never good to give one up in the last minute. Oh, we already got that one. 40 minutes. Yeah, they still got this one's still way too close. Leafs are down 2-0. Hawks are without Bedard. Rough times for the Maple Leafs. Every so often, I pop in on Steve Dangle just to watch to make sure he's okay. He's not okay. He's not doing okay. No, he's like kind of resigned to Toronto's fate at this point. If only we could pass our way into the back of the net. Yeah, that's true. Just send somebody in front of the net and then pass to them. Basically, be a shot. Even though I was not impressed with Struble on the PK, I'm hoping the PK will help him realize he's almost 210 pounds, not 170. I want him to move others in front of the net, not struggle. He is, in terms of like physical like shape, like maybe the most in shape player in the league, or one of them. During the NHL Combine, the draft combine, he did the tests and like completely blew every record out of the water. He is an absolute like brute and like can yeah, it goes to show you that unfortunately when you're on skates, a lot of it is positioning and he's just like not that part of the game kind of eludes him. Suzuki has missed all those breakaways, made giveaways frequently of late as well. Our captain has to clean it up. Yeah, I would say that our captain is they're playing, he's playing well, but he's not taken over games the way that he can. Should have mucked out the intruder. I like the way that you put that, Rick. Oh my goodness, yes, they're talking about the big move in Buffalo. What do you guys think about Buffalo? Buffalo's always so. I mean, if Buffalo's like, if the new GM comes in, he's gonna trade guys. Again, it's a bit like the Vancouver question. If I ask you who you guys want from Buffalo, I know who you're gonna say. You're gonna say Tage Thompson. But so maybe I'll ask this. All right, here's how I'm going to phrase it because I feel like for the most part, everybody would like to have Tage Thompson on their team. So if the new GM is open to trading Tage Thompson to the Canadiens, what would you offer for Tage? What do you think gets that deal done? Because I think he's asking for Demidov, and I don't think we'll do it. So what could do it? That happened last game before the scrum with Mike and McDavid. Two Oilers in around the crease, eyes and stick going for the puck. The Dobes covered. The Habs are playing and not moving out McDavid. Well, McDavid can be a little tough to move out. All right, here's the offer. Alexander Zvorowski, Jaden Struble, Kirby Dach, and a first-round pick. I don't think that will get it done for Buffalo. And Rick says he's not even giving up Zvorowski. You would switch Kapanen for Dach if they want. That might get it a little closer to the finish line, but I still feel like it's missing that like one. It's still missing that one big piece. That's I think what it's missing. Zvorowski, Kapanen, nice players, first rounder, nice thing to have. Dach, you need a body, but I feel like Zvorowski, Kapanen, it's not quite the like. If you're training an elite player, you want if you want to train a star player, you want a star player back. I don't know if they necessarily feel like Zvorowski's that guy yet. Monty, Struble, Beck, and a high draft pick. Would that be enough? I don't believe so. I think Montembeault is pretty worthless. Not worthless, but teams wouldn't take the chance at the moment. Struble, I don't think has a lot of trade value. Beck, I don't think has a lot of trade value. And high draft pick, well, draft pick is draft pick. But again, I think it's just missing that that big piece that they would want. Tage Thompson is a 30-goal scorer, and as potentially, some team might view him as a 40-goal scorer. So you gotta pony up. Very funny. You guys should watch. Go check out. In the Edmonton Oilers and the Pittsburgh Penguins are playing tonight, and the two goalies that were traded for each other, Stuart Skinner and Tristan Jarry, are playing for the opposite teams. But because they haven't replaced their helmets yet, Tristan Jarry is playing for the Oilers in his Penguins helmet, and Stuart Skinner is playing for the Penguins in his Oilers helmet. And it's a very funny visual. Do have a chance if you can watch. All right, let's check out the. All right, first things first. The Money Puck Deserve to Win meter has 52%, whereas Polymarket has it 55% Habs. So there you go. 52% Flyers on Money Puck, 55% Habs on Polymarket. That's fun. Let's check out what the natural stat trick says. So in terms of natural stat trick, scoring chances for the Flyers, 3, 1 high danger chance, and then 5 scoring chances for the Habs and 0 high danger chances. So not a lot of, just 1 high danger chance all period. No bueno. No way Buffalo takes that deal. Other than the draft pick, the other 3 are nobodies. Instead of Monty, what about Volokin? I don't think Volokin's necessarily much of a, again, like a nice prospect, but nothing that gets you like an NHL roster player, unfortunately. Oh yeah, who played the big minutes in that period with Matheson out? Literally just Hudson. Everybody was pretty even. So Hudson played 925, and then everybody else was between 526, the low, which was Jack-I, and 641, which was Dobson. And that's with 2 penalty kills. So yeah, Hudson played 925 in the first. So he is the primary time on ice beneficiary of Mike Matheson being out. Here we go. How about Doc, Reinbacher, Anderson, and a high draft pick? I think you'll have to remove Anderson because he makes too much money. So I think he's more of an anchor on that trade than somebody who helps. Unless they're just like, no, their cap situation, they're not taking guy on. So like Reinbacher, Doc, high draft pick, I think you're starting to get into the conversation. I think that's like that's closer. And I just don't know if the Canadiens are in a position where they can trade Reinbacher and not get a defenseman back. I don't know what they're thinking about their defense right now. They've got like a top 4 locked in. They've got Reinbacher coming up. They have 3 other guys fighting for a spot. And just nothing seems particularly settled. Nothing seems settled until you've like actually had Gooley in the lineup for a long amount of time and you know what you have. Because I just think without Gooley, they need to like totally pivot and get another big defenseman. Just without Gooley, this defense is not quite the same. If they give up Reinbacher, it's an admission of choosing the wrong draft pick. Is it though? If they get like an elite player, if they get like a really good player, I don't think so. Like if the Sidney Crosby thing had come to fruition in the offseason and they said you got to trade us Slavkovsky for Sidney Crosby. That's what gets it done. And let's say the Habs did it. I don't think anyone would say that like they would that's because Slavkovsky that's an admission of Slavkovsky being the wrong pick. I think it's just you get a chance to get Sidney Crosby, you're not messing around. You're getting them. You know, think about the Quinn Hughes trade is a good example. You know, did the Minnesota Wild pick wrongly by taking Zeev Buium? No, they were able to use him to get maybe the best defenseman in the league. So that to me is probably the gold standard of like what it takes to get somebody. Right? It was your best prospect, NHL roster player who's good. And what else was in that? What else was in that deal? Was a first pick in that? Now Quinn Hughes, you only get 2 years of him, so it's a little different. But Gooley over Reinbacher. If they'll take Gooley, good. One of the big issues with the Sabres is that they keep taking people getting injured. Like Josh Norris can't play; he's always hurt. And they also have, I don't know, they got to figure out that defensive situation in Buffalo because they don't have good defense, but they used 2 first overall picks on defensemen, guys who don't seem to like go well together. I think they should trade Owen Power, to be honest. But he makes a crazy amount of money. I don't know if they'll find a taker who will, give him face value. But I think they got to figure out if having all that money invested in Dahlin and Owen Power is the move. Yeah, exactly. Power and Dahlin. That being said, does Dahlin play on the right side mostly? I feel like when we've watched them play, they've used Dahlin at the right. But again, that's probably out of necessity. It's sort of like when the Habs do with Hudson. They don't do it because they want to. Doc's huge risk. Reinbacher is still an unknown, and you know my thoughts on Anderson. I wouldn't do it for that either. I mean, Reinbacher's an unknown, but I do think that he still has enough draft pedigree that somebody would be excited in him. Maybe not for Tage Thompson, but people are still excited about what Reinbacher can do. I don't think other teams are off the bandwagon. Only if just because he's been injured. We can dream, exactly. Hey, we're not GMs. I don't expect any of us to know exactly what it'll cost to get somebody, but it's fun to talk about these things. Guys were talking Buffalo the last 15 years, as a previous poster stated, they've become the Expos of the NHL as a supply for talent. They'll take prospect before taking salary to Tage. It would be interesting to see what Yarmo sold to ownership in order to be the new GM. Did he sell them on a rebuild or did he sell them on a I can fix this thing? I have a feeling he sold them on an I can fix this. I don't feel like that ownership is like we need to burn this all down again. I think the ownership is looking at this and like the mix of players is wrong. And can Yarmo be the mix, bring back the mix of players? I don't have a clue what the Habs would want to part with, nor what Buffalo would want in return. They have to turn around, and I can't see Yarmo shedding key pieces. But he has to change something up. I don't know what it is. I don't know if Tage Thompson, that was just like me speculating because I know that you guys have talked about wanting Tage Thompson on the Habs. But they have to do something. They're probably going to trade Alex Tuck. That's probably the first move, the first domino to fall for Yarmo. And then Bowen Byram, who just like is not a fit on that team at all. Get rid of those guys. Get rid of some of their small forwards. They have so many of them. Give up on some of the draft picks that didn't work out. I thought they did well for that Savoie from McLeod trade. Try to get another one of those done. And then get a real goalie. Devin Levi is maybe the guy who goes. If he still has some value. Which I don't think so. Yes, Bowen Byram to me seems like other teams need that kind of defenseman, and they don't need that kind of defenseman. That ownership wants a new taxpayer-funded arena. Until that happens, nothing happens in Buffalo. Really? I like their arena. They need a new one already? Damn. Did they build that one not that long ago? I know they want it for the Bills. How are the Bills? Did the Bills get their new stadium in the end? I think so, right? Is that what happened? I don't even remember now. Maybe the Leafs will trade Austin Matthews. Would we take him as a second-line center? Man, he gets paid a little more than that. Be tough to fit him on the payroll. It would be very interesting to see if Toronto can't get themselves ensconced in the playoff picture, what they do. Because that team just doesn't seem very good at all. Wow. Travis Konechny left way too alone in front, and he tried to tuck it a backhand under Fowler's legs. Fowler attempted the poke check, so the legs were exposed. And, man, he was fortunate it didn't slide through. It kind of got caught in the pads, and he was able to make the save. But a very nice play by Fowler, and not great by the Habs defense to let Konechny, an Olympian, very good player. Not Olympian. I guess he was on the, what was it? He was in the Four Nations. Four Nations Canadian player with way too much time and space in front. Yes, this is a more realistic ask. Hage, Reinbacher in a first, I think is probably a little more up the alley if they were looking to rebuild, what that would entail. They did it with the Bills. They did get a stadium. Okay, good for them. That's a good team. They should have a nice place to play. I used to go see Bills games. Those bathrooms were terrifying, man. Unless you like being arm in arm with a group of drunks while you're peeing. If you like that, then it's a great place to watch a game. And the toilets are overflowing as well. How about it? Demidov wasn't able to get all of that shot in the slot, but he hit the post again. And then Slavkovsky was right in front of the net and had a great chance. And I don't know how he didn't put it in. Oh, no, it was Demidov was the one in front of the net. And it was Kapanen with the shot, the kind of like the stymied shot in the slot. And Demidov with another great chance. He's due tonight. You guys were saying Cole Caulfield was due earlier. Demidov, to me, looks like the guy who might be due tonight. He's looking good. Yes, but the tickets were dirt cheap in tailgate. Hey, it was the only reason I, as a poor, broke college student, could afford NFL tickets every year because of the Bills. Bless the Bills. You can tell Demidov loves playing with Uri. I know. I kind of want to keep him. Guys, here's my pitch. I think when Kirby Doc comes back, they should put him on the first line with Suzuki and Caulfield. I think Doc should go back on that line when he's like up to speed. And then I think you keep Slavkovsky and Demidov on the second line with Kapanen, and you ride that line until it doesn't work anymore. Because I don't like Bolduc on the top line, and I don't think you guys do either. Is there going to be a penalty there? The stick is literally wedged in Couturier's armpit. Talkett's not feeling that one. But there you go. No, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, the thing is that I think they need a Slavkovsky type guy along the boards, like Caulfield and Suzuki do. And when I think who's the next closest guy on the team to that player, it's Doc. All right, the Habs are the fourth best power play in the league, 26%. And Christian Dvorak taking the face off for the penalty killers, and he lost. Nice try by Demidov there. I mean, Demidov and Hudson at the point are just magic. Almost too magical. Get the puck on net. All right, here you go. Puck is back in the zone. Slavkovsky. Too many passes again. Man, they've got that. They had that trio of Hudson, Caulfield, Suzuki passing back and forth in the triangle, and they just could not find a shot that they liked. And then they tried to feather one through to Slavkovsky, and it didn't work. All right, there you go. I mean, you're everybody's favorite Gallagher on this PP2. How about it? Kapanen with a great chance. We got 3 seconds left on the power play. So in his last 4 games, Texier has 3 goals and 1 assist, and he's +3. I definitely think we should see him on the power play. I would rather see Texier on the power play than Gallagher. I understand wanting Gallagher closer to the net, but Texier's got a lot more talent than Gallagher does at this point. I was going to say, power play's not over yet. Dobson had all the time in the world to take a nice blast from the point at the end of that power play, and he shot it very high and wide. Another chance for Texier in front, man. He almost redirected that in the net. How close was he there? Evans, basically along the half wall, goes behind the net. Yeah, I think it was, who's that, Ristolainen, who just like kind of tipped the puck at the last second. Oof, good try. Too much passing. Ugh, the story of the season, right? I understand that these guys, Hudson and Demidov, might be two of the best passers in the league. I understand why they pass the puck a lot. Like, they are magical at it. But this team just needs to score. They need to shoot and they need to score a little more. So I think they need to taper back some of that all-star play. What a nice play by Slafkovsky, man, to circle and then take a shot from the top of the slot. Now he's behind the net. Bit of a hot pass, though. They're going to lose the puck? Yeah. We got a 2-on-1 for the Flyers. And Konechny and Zegras team up. And it's 2-1. Well, I was going to ask you guys this eventually, but did the Habs miss out by not trading for Zegras? I think they could have had him for absolutely nothing. Maybe he didn't want to come, but... 14 goals for Trevor Zegras this season. He's absolutely turned his career around with the Flyers. Did the Habs miss out? I think they could have had him. Any team could have had him. Flyers gave up very little for him. They gave up Ryan Poehling, for Christ's sake. Let me know what you think. Rick, you say, wasn't there some sort of issue with Zegras? Well, yeah, the issue was that he was considered a softie and they didn't like him. They didn't like him in Anaheim. But clearly the Flyers like him. So I don't know how much of that reputation was on him and how much of that was on Anaheim. No, we can't have everybody. Lol. Yes, we can, Karen. The Canadiens can have an entire squad and then a taxi squad and then a third squad. Bring back the Maroons. Put them all. The Habs should have every player. Got to be in on every player. No, I kid. No, you're right. Who would have Zegras replaced? On the plus side, he's under 6 foot. He is considered 6 feet on the nose. He's like 6 feet 180, which I think is like the most generic size for a hockey player. Did Zegras want to play here? I don't know if he wanted to play here. He may not have. He's a little close. He's from New York, so he's a little closer to the Philly area than Montreal. But he is pals with Cole Caulfield. I think for a guy who just wanted to get out of Anaheim at all costs, Montreal wouldn't have been the worst spot for him. But yeah, Zegras has 33 points in 32 games. That being said, I mean the Anaheim Ducks do not mind not having him. They're good. They're very good. Can't really get too upset with Demidov's turnover when Suzuki was guilty on the first one. Young teams, these will happen. You have to learn from them. Yeah, that is these. They're pressing on offense, and this is another reason why shooting more, I think, will help a little bit. sometimes they're trying to feather that perfect play, and it puts them out of position in transition. The Canadiens struggle a little in transition play. We saw it against like better teams like Colorado and New York, where they kind of blow their chance in the zone, and then the puck goes up the ice quickly and they can't handle it. How about Texier again? Almost. Man, Emile Andre had to run back to get that rebound, but Texier with another great chance, and then the Flyers ice the puck. Max says, we'll be saying young team 3 years from now. No, there has to be a cutoff. I don't know when that cutoff is. Cutoff's like in a year and a half. Like at the end of next season, I don't want to hear it. They're a young team anymore. But they are still the youngest. They are still technically the youngest team in the NHL. So they can be called that. Dylan Cousins seems more of a 200-foot player. Yeah, Ottawa is certainly very, very. Ottawa made out like bandits in that trade. Dylan Cousins playing pretty well for Ottawa, and Josh Norris, who I think on paper is undoubtedly the more talented player of that trade, but Josh Norris can't stay healthy. And to me, Josh Norris is potentially the blueprint of a Caden Gooley trade, where Josh Norris, like undoubtedly a super talented player, could have been Ottawa's second line center for many years to come, can't stay healthy. So you might as well just trade him, even if you're getting a guy with a little less talent in him, in Cousins. I think the Canadiens will have to make that call at some point, if Gooley's that guy or not. I don't think they're ready yet, nor should they be, but they got to make that decision at some point with Gooley. Haig and Zurofsky are coming. Andy and Galley are gone next season. They are young. Yeah, is that kind of the transition? I think Zurofsky's 2 years away. Like this year, next, and then they start to have that conversation about bringing him over. Yeah, Flyers with good chance in the zone. And then, yeah, Andy Galley have a year left on their deals. So the Habs top line's been out for about a minute 30, so they need to get off. Or sorry, not the top line. The top line was waiting to come on, and then I don't think we're going to see a same situation as Demidov. Zurofsky's not as good as Demidov. They're going to wait for him to. I don't think that there's a big rush to bring him over. I know he's having a really good season, but it's just not the same. He's not. He doesn't have that like NHL ready pedigree that Demidov had. Like I don't think Zurofsky coming over. I don't think he'd be that good, even though he's having a good season. And he's under contract for 2 more years in Russia, and I think they're a little less inclined to backhand deal their way out of that one compared to Demidov, which they were clearly willing to fly to St. Petersburg and figure that one out. Matheson played 4:35 of the last 5 minutes on Sunday. Yeah, that's he will be missed tonight if they need somebody out for a long time. Slivkovsky is playing like a center. He's coming back deep, being very responsible, driving offense at the other end. Yes, I saw this. It was Eric Engels, right, who was talking on Tony's show about this. And like I understand at a like certain level, but then I had some friends telling me like, "Oh, should Slav be the center?" And I'm like, "No." But he is the driver of it. He is the possession guy of his line, which I think is why he's playing a little better away from Suzuki. The kids to Laval, Annie and Galley are staying with the Habs. Well, they're staying here for one more season at least until their contracts are up. All right, we got a 3-on-1 here. Ah, was it Beck who missed that one? Texas playing like he wants to be here, man. He's on the Joe Veleno last stop express in the NHL, so he better play like he wants to be here. Speaking of Veleno, he off the rush along the end boards took a nice little shot at Vladar. We got a whistle here. Got a little whistle and a break, and oh, a nice hit. Gallagher start the transition. And yeah, it was Gallagher who had that little break. I think Gallagher's playing well tonight. I like what I'm seeing from him, but no goal yet. No goal yet. Both Flyers' goals were caused by Habs players trying to be too fancy with the puck. That is 100% accurate. Good for Galley. I know. I think we're all still rooting for him. I know that it's been frustrating watching him play, but we can't be ready to hang him out to dry just yet. Well, we're well past the midway point of the second period here. Less than 7 minutes to play. 2-1 Flyers. All right, we got Engstrom out with Jack Eye here. Engstrom a little slow to get the puck out. Well, they got it deep. It's immediately back out to center ice. Ooh, bad turnover by Caulfield. He was trying to pass it to Carey in the neutral zone. And now it's behind the Habs net again. They're going to have to try to break out a second time here, and not going great. Ristolainen again, although yeah, Ristolainen went in for the hit. Well, it looks like it's a big night for the Oilers so far. Beautiful goal by Connor McDavid. My God, undressed everybody. And what Draisaitl do? Draisaitl did something. Oh, it was 1,000 career points for Leon Draisaitl. Okay. Five minutes left in the second period, and we only have 9 shots. What the F do better? I know, Bob. This is starting to sound like a broken record here, man. Like, what is it with the lack of shots? And tonight is no excuse. You're playing against the Flyers. The Flyers have played it pretty tight. I'll give you that much, but come on. Engstrom and Xhekaj have been solid. So, in terms of ice time tonight with Matheson out, we've got Xhekaj's played 9:33 and Engstrom has played 9:47. So pretty good for them. They don't usually play that much. $10 more on Demidov wouldn't hurt. I would think for his getting targeted. Yeah, he's still I don't think he's getting like manhandled too much. I don't think it's getting too bad, but I just think that as he matures, he's gonna probably gain that 10 pounds. I don't think he needs to like. I worry sometimes about the players going into the gym and like going a little crazy and like, yeah, 20 pounds of muscle. Like the game of hockey is a little bit more than just being really muscly. There's a lot of other just like sort of body stuff going on there that you need to be, you need to be agile. You need to be quick as well. So I wouldn't want Demidov to go overboard, but I think as he gets older, he's going to gain that weight. Oh, man. Bolduc did not have the space to make a nice shot, but that was a nice 3-on-2. And Bolduc ended up with the puck and a really nice chance on Vladar. And he just like couldn't get all that shot. I am not seeing the panic tonight. Yeah, I don't know if I want to see panic, but I definitely want to see them trying to tie the game up. Here we go. Josh Anderson breaking in. Oof. Wiped out behind the net and tried to find Evans, but hard to find Evans when you're lying on your ass. They just don't shoot. It's been like this for years. It's frustrating. By the way, I know our old pal, God, I don't even remember his name now, but that guy from Vancouver who's a real piece of work in the comments, talking about how great a coach Rick Tocchet was. That was the one thing he was right about. He wasn't right about most of his assessments, but Rick Tocchet is coaching a very mediocre Philadelphia team to a very good road game tonight and possibly to the playoffs. 68% face-offs for Philly. That's the Christian Dvorak effect for you. Yes, Roger Parmar, that guy. Wasn't right about much, but he was right about Rick Tocchet being a good coach. I'll give him that much. Wherever Roger Parmar is these days. All right, Max. I've been a lifelong fan of the Habs. I also know that we greatly inflate players' talents and value. Some of these guys are not as good as we would like to think. That's an interesting question because I feel like this team has like the good players on the team are good, and then I feel like the rest of the team is just not that good, right? Like I think Suzuki, Caulfield, Slavkovsky, Demidov, Hudson is good. Those guys are good. I think Dobson's pretty good. I'm not ready to like say he's worth the money yet. And then I think like Kapanen's like promising or whatever. And then I think everything else is just kind of a work in progress. So I don't know who you feel is like, yeah, who do you feel is not as good as we think? I'm curious to know. Fowler's not been so, he's been a little bit more busy than the other guy, but 6 saves for him. Or sorry, his fifth save. He did let in a goal. Is it getting boring or just dull? I think the Flyers are playing a very good road game tonight. I mean, the Habs have 10 shots. I mean, the Habs have 10 shots. I think the team is just seems a little deflated tonight. I just feel like the Flyers have kind of pinned them down a little bit. That was a nice try. That was a nice try for Nick Suzuki, though. All right, here we go. The Evans line again, getting set up here. Oh, nice pass by Anderson from behind the net to Texier in front, but Anderson's not really the kind of guy to feather those passes. Hey, nice play by Hudson to kick the puck up. Can we get a try here to Anderson? Now Texier's got it in the corner. Man, Texier gave up a lot of size to Ristolainen in that battle in the corner, and he definitely lost it. Was that Bubipin they were playing, reaching deep for inspirational music? They sure were, and didn't work because it's 3-1 Flyers. So Fowler's behind the net, and he gives the puck away to the Flyers. I mean, no communication there. Brutal. What a rookie mistake that was. I mean, Lots of blame to go around in that one. What do you guys think about that one? Who gets the blame? Who gets the blame in that one? Yeesh. I blame Hudson and Dobson. Last minute in period brain deadness. Oh yeah, that's true, eh? We're at the end of the period. That was with 50 seconds to go. "13 missed nets by the Habs tonight." Yeah, Fowler definitely learned his lesson on that one. Can't blame Arbor for that one. Marty will find a way. Well, of course, the Canadiens have their best game of the season, arguably, against the Oilers, and then play like absolute garbage against the Flyers at home on a Tuesday. Come on. Come on, guys. This is brutal. Why are the Canadiens so bad at home, guys? This is an absolute joke. They're saying to themselves to be the comeback kids. Going to be hard to score 2 goals without any shots. So Zegras has goals in his last 4 games. You never saw Martin Brodeur hesitate. No, you didn't. That guy was every time that guy had the puck behind the net, he was looking to score. He was the famous. I mean, they built the trapezoid because of him, because he was so good at getting the puck and passing it up the ice. The Habs are playing to Philly's level. I could not agree more. Played so well against the Oilers, and then they're not taking the Flyers seriously tonight. I don't feel. This has not been a fun game to watch. You guys have said it. And add Fowler and the young D to the turnover game. We've basically gifted Philly the 3 goals. Yeah, all 3 goals, just like off of brain cramps. The boys will actually need to take 8 shots in the third to hit the 18-shot ceiling. This is crazy. Why have I under I understand that the Flyers have played a pretty tight defensive game tonight, but like, come on. 10 shots? 10 shots. I'm going to lose my mind. I feel like I'm going crazy here. All right, posted up the goals. You're gonna have to wait a little bit. The site is a little slow right now. It hasn't updated fully yet. We'll give them a minute. Marty St. Louis is the coach. Art Wash winner. Knows offense inside and out. Why this group won't shoot? What do you do? What do you like? It's a total collective team problem. Why are they not shooting? Who can we get? What can we do to get this team to shoot more? And to stop looking for the perfect opportunity every time. It's unbelievable. Here, we're gonna call out some people here. We're gonna call out some people here. All right, that's who's got 0 shots. Who's got to shoot more this period? Caulfield and Gallagher have 2 shots apiece. Beck's got a shot. Bolduc's got a shot. Tech's got 3 shots. Demidov's got 1 shot. A sandwich for a shot? I like it. That reminds me, I got to be right back. I have to go get a sandwich. I unfortunately could not find couldn't get a sandwich. I could only get some Reese's Pieces. That was all I had. I did already eat dinner though, so I should have a smoked meat sandwich anyway. Oh, a cherry Coke would be so nice right now. Unfortunately, I only have it was Tuesday night. It's a school night, so I only got water. I don't know about you guys, but the winter has hit, and my skin is so dry all the time, and my throat is so dry. I have to hydrate. They pass up far too many shot chances and try to make the perfect pass. It is infuriating. It really is. And again, as I mentioned earlier, Demidov and Hudson are like maybe in the top 10 passers in this league. And I kind of get it sometimes. But like everybody else, just please shoot. Slav, please shoot. You know, go to the net, shoot. That's it. Everybody loves Raymond. Had a great line on Dills. It's like a drink and a food all together. I like that. We're gonna up to date Health Canada's food triangle. Yeah, the only food triangle I know: poutine, smoked meat, dill pickle. You don't need anything else. Maybe like a donut for breakfast, and then and then you're good. All right, I'm gonna ask a question because Eric Engels asked. So I'm asking this question because Eric Engels suggested it. My brother hit me up about it. So I know that it's getting around. If my brother asks me, then I know it's getting around. So you tell me, would you try Uri Slavkovsky as a center? What's the live blog schedule? I am doing Tuesday today. I'm doing Thursday. Probably not Saturday, Sunday. The weekends are hard. I admittedly, it's hard for me to do the weekends, especially around the holidays. I have so many people that are in town that I need to go see, things like that. So I'm gonna do Thursdays for sure. I don't know about Saturday, Sunday, and then we're working through the break. I'm not really taking any time off. I'm taking the days off that the Canadians have off. I'm taking off, so you'll see me on the 23rd, and then back on the 28th. So that's the sked. So don't expect me on the weekend, but I'm gonna do Thursday's game. And if something really goes crazy, I might do the weekend. Like, I might do the Saturday game if things go really nuts, but I don't think so. Slavkovsky is a center. What can you lose? I suppose you could lose having a great winger if he's not a very good center. I suppose is what you would lose. A lot of noise on social media about trying Slav at center. I say, why not? Nothing to lose, really. Okay, you guys are into. You guys are a little into it, more into it than I am. Oh, I like this one. Maybe people will calm down with the Matheson jabs. He takes so much abuse, and we're seeing now just how valuable he is tonight. No kidding. No kidding. You forgot Reese's Pieces. I know. I just ate a giant mouthful, and they were amazing. The only thing I like more than Reese's Pieces are M&M peanuts. In the like, I think I've said this before on this live blog. It really goes to show you how terrible my nutrition is. But I do believe that any chocolate bar that's got peanuts in it is real food. Like that counts as a meal. But only if it's got peanuts or like some kind of nut. So I'm a big fan of the Cadbury fruit and nut because it's got fruit and it's got nut in it. So I'm like, yo, we got three food groups going. This is lunch for me. I can live with this as my lunch. There's no reason not to at this point before Doc gets back. Try it out the first period for 2 or 3 games. You can always switch back with Kapanen. Okay. Could you potentially argue that Slav is already the center of that line, really? The only difference being that Kapanen takes the faceoffs, of which he's not that terrible at. I don't know, but I'm surprised that you guys are more amenable to Slavkovsky as a center than I am. Because I heard it and I'm like, this is crazy. Yes, he's the possession guy on his line, but I would never put him in the middle, like forcefully put him at center. I don't know. But maybe I'm wrong. You guys all seem to be like pretty down for it, so I trust you guys. If you guys feel a type of way about a player, all right. All right. The money puck deserve to win meter 54% Flyers. Okay. How about Polymarket? Oh, you guys won't like this one as much. Polymarket is 90% Flyers. Mm. And then high danger chances, we got 6-4 Flyers. And we have total 15 scoring chances for the Habs, 10 scoring chances for the Flyers. But then more high danger chances for the Flyers. So Slav is still growing. Now's the time to see if he can adapt and add to his game. That's an interesting perspective. I hadn't really thought of that. He said he tried it back in grade 7 and it was too much skating, so he moved to winger. Okay. All right, a very interesting mix of perspectives on this one. But you guys seem down, so you know what? I will let the powers that be know that you guys are approve. All right, we are almost back. A couple minutes. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this to you guys. I got to do a shout out before the third period. Michael Whalen, longtime Montreal TSN reporter for basically the duration of the 80s, 90s, and a little bit of the early 2000s. Like the quintessential Habs reporting guy, died. And we have a great obituary up from Jack Todd, who's good friends with him. Please do read it at the Gazette. Here, I should share it. Silly me. Here's the Michael Whalen obituary if you guys would like to read it. And we're back for the third period. Nice zone entry there for the top line. Suzuki was able to get it back to Caulfield for a shot, but that was stopped. How about it? Oh, Demidov with the deflection in front, and the puck just skipped over the net there. Oh, that was a great chance for the Habs. Now Hudson back in the zone again. I mean, the Habs are flying coming out of the gate this period. But that was a bad miss by Anderson because that just sent the puck the other way. That was Anderson. Anderson gave up the puck, which wasn't great, but then he was able to, at the other end, hit Zegras and get the turnover. Or sorry, get the offside. And now Anderson just manhandled Sealer, and he's looking for a fight. Yeah, that was a great play by Demidov and Slav hooking up. Ugh. Yeah, Michael Whalen was Mr. Montreal Sports for TSN for so long. And that was back when you used to watch the 6:30 Sports Center and you'd watch all the different like markets every night. Loved it. Yeah, Anderson was using his legs on those shifts. Oh, but the Canadians, can they get anything done on offense, man? 12 shots with only 17 minutes left to play in the game. Unreal. All right, there you go. Hudson dancing at the point, and then he just kind of fires it on net. It deflects and goes out, and there you go. No shots. You get settled in the zone, and then no shots at all. Couturier, third all time in shots, and he got called out big time in the offseason. I thought he was going to be traded. Not that anybody would want that contract, but he got called out big time by Briere to step it up, and it looks like he did. That's right. He did not get along with Tortorella. I mean, who does, really? Ah, nice chance by Hudson, but the puck just hopped over his stick. And he and Slavkovsky are just passing from one end of the boards to the other end of the boards, but it's not really. How about now? Ah, they team up again for another chance, and they cannot beat Vladar. I mean, just a dominant shift by Slavkovsky and Hudson there, but they just can't get it done. Oh, Jack-eyed Evans at the point, and then the puck kind of skirted towards the side back door, and there was two Habs there ready to jump on it, and not able to get it. Engstrom, and then Engstrom with the shot from the point, and then Texier kind of tipped it over the net. Another good shift for the Habs, and that's an icing by the Flyers. These have that they're playing well. They're just not. They're just not getting the shots on goal. But that was a pretty impressive shift by Hudson and Slavkovsky there. And then look at Jack-eye ringing around the net, and then finding Evans at the point. A very nice play. Yeah, exactly. Nice rush by Jack-eye. Oh, come on. There was like 7 players on the ice. Yeah, I do. I like this Engstrom Jack-eye. What about putting Tex on the first line? I have a feeling at this point they might just double shift Slavkovsky and put him on both lines. I feel like you might see that first, but I just don't. Sorry, Bolduc. I just don't really see much in his game right now. He's a guy who's here to finish, and he's just not finishing and doesn't really bring anything else to the table. Yeah, I would try a Texier. Why not? But yeah, how's the ice time game going? We got 20 minutes for Hudson with 13:13 left to play in the third. Dobson's at 17:52. Um, and then the next most is Carrier at 14:37. So not too much. It seems to have been spread. Matheson's minutes have been spread out, I would say. Arbor's gonna get reprimanded for that. Carried the puck when he should have passed. Probably press box the next game. Oh my god, we hear it every time. It's hilarious. It never stops being funny. It's true though. Every time Jack Guy does something nice, it's like, oh, but he didn't do this. Better scratch him. But yeah, the ice time. I'm surprised to see the ice time among the defensemen pretty spread out. Hudson's definitely playing quite a bit, and he's -2 tonight. Can't say he's had he hasn't been able to get any offense going. Try as he might, and defense. I mean, obviously he was on that Brink goal. He was on the ice. He was pretty key in that miscommunication with Fowler. So not a great night for Hudson tonight. Unless he gets some offense, which he seems like he's really pressing hard to do it. No, the problem is he's not let in a goal in his line yet. He needs to be more considered. I know he needs to spread out the minuses. How dare he? Got another icing. Man, the Flyers are not. The one thing about Rick Tocchet, he's not the funnest guy. It's not the funnest teams to watch. But the Flyers are playing a good road game. I can't fault them. Like they've stuffed the Habs all night, but ugh, what a pain to watch. All right, we got a face-off win by Kapanen in the offensive zone. Can we get something going finally? Yeah, Slavkovsky gets it in the corner. Are they able to get settled in here? Hudson takes point shot from very, very far out. Wasn't really anybody there. Goalie makes the save, but you know what? Gets him another face-off attempt. By the way, if things evened out a little bit on face-offs, they have not. It's still 69% Flyers. Yeah, I mean the thing is, Slavkovsky wasn't able to beat Ristolainen to get in front of the net, so it's an easy save for Vladar. I don't know if that was the move, but again, we're telling them that they need to get shots on net. That was a shot. Texas now doubling up, playing Beck's spot in the fourth lineup. Oh yeah, time to shorten the bench. Here, time to shorten the bench, Marty. In case you haven't looked, we need 2 goals. Yeah, now's the time for sure. Hudson tried to force a pass there, and so we got a turnover. Oh, Kane's got fortunate though. Bolduc with a pretty like low energy pass, trying to get that into the middle of the slot, but he was behind the net. He should have just tried protecting the puck a little bit. All right, now we got the third line, which has been doing most of the damage tonight, did all the damage on offense tonight. Can they do it again? We got Texier doing one-on-one new moves out of the corner here. All right. I mean, Texier trying to make offense, and he got it to Struble. Struble got it to Anderson. We got a little chance here. I mean, we got to see Texier's one-on-one skills, man. They're impressive. I'm really beginning to dislike this coach. Yeah, Mark, you've been pretty you've not been feeling Marty's moves of late. I do like Texier's moves there. Not too bad. One shot closer to 18. Only two shots to go, and then they're there. No, they got one more. They are at 17 now. 20 for the Flyers. There is 10:41 to play in the third period. The Habs are down 3-1 to the Flyers. Habs scored the first goal of the game, actually, and have then probably let up 3 goals, and Fowler almost gave that one up again. I mean, I don't think the Flyers are really trying to like push anything on offense at this point. At this point, they're just dump and get out. And why not? They have a 2-goal lead. Canadians are hard pressed to even get 2 shots at this point. No good reason for this team to be down 3-1 to Philly. Down 3-1 to Philly at home after beating the much better Edmonton Oilers the night before. This performance doesn't make any sense. This is just like a misery of their own making. Brutal night on the dot. 70.5% now for the Flyers. And we got Couturier, who's very good at faceoffs against Kapanen, and Couturier wins that one. And now we got a 3-on-2 that did not develop at all. Flyers only have 2 shots this period compared to 7 for the Habs. I mean, the Flyers are just in shutdown mode at this point. Gave away 3 goals. Literally the 3 goals. I mean, and that was a nice one-on-one. Zegras tried to put some fancy moves on Jaden Struble, and Jaden Struble did not bite. I like that play by Struble on that one. How soon? So there's 8:36 to go. How soon is it for them to pull their goalie? The way that they've been playing in the offensive zone. I might consider doing it soon. Philly, same points as Habs and better goal differential. Share your frustration. On paper, teams are near equal. That's true, Kelly. I get it, but also like I feel like the Flyers are not a very talented team that are boosted by that fresh new coaching perspective. And I think just getting out of like multiple terrible years of John Tortorella. I just feel like they're a new coach bounce team. I don't actually like think they're particularly good on paper. I feel like these are the kinds of teams that the Canadians should like be better than if they want to be, a playoff contender. All right, you're thinking pull the goalie around 4:30. Yeah, I'm thinking I don't know. They need some kind of spark right now. Mind-boggling that Arbor has any confidence at all. I know, I know. We got to enjoy the confidence he does have. Is that a Oh, it was a filet protector play. I was like, did he ice the puck? That would have been terrible. Arbert's working for his RFA money. That's true. Got a chance to play for a good contract. By the way, who starts in goal Thursday? I assume it's Dobes. Now that like Montembeault is in Laval, I assume that it's pretty like cut and dry that they'll alternate, right? I don't think Fowler did anything tonight. I mean, if Fowler had played an amazing game tonight, sure, maybe. Fowler's given up 3 goals on 20 shots, and one of them was a bad giveaway by him in behind the net. Kakinen. I've been beating the Kakinen drum all year. I'm like, you signed him to a one-way deal for a reason. Or it's not a one. Was it a one-way deal or was it like one of those very pumped up two-way deals? Oh man, a good try for the second line there, but and then a missed net from the point, and then the puck goes down the ice again, and they fucking lose their opportunity. All right, here we go. Ooh, Slavkovsky with a nice play. Zegras looks to be in agony on the bench. I didn't see what happened to him. Evans on the ice when we're behind 2 really frustrates me. I get it for the face-off, and then I don't get it for much else. Oh, yeah, look at Zegras. Zegras really struggling back to the bench. I have no idea what happened. Jack has earned his chance to stay in the lineup when Matheson returns. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when Matheson comes back. He's day to day, but I had a feeling just hearing some grumblings. People were saying that he'd probably be out Thursday as well. I long for the day Pascal Vincent becomes head coach. Yeah, hopefully he doesn't become coach of some other team. I feel like his rep around the league is pretty strong. I mean, Caulfield is in the hash marks exactly where you want him to have a shot, and he can't beat Vladar. Great pass by Suzuki off the boards to chip it to Caulfield. Caulfield right in the face-off dot. Now, like Randall Moore in the hash marks, just kind of puts the shot right on him. I don't know if he didn't get all that shot, but I'm sure Caulfield wasn't happy with that shot. Oh, nice deflection by Gallagher in front on the Hudson point shot. Christian Dvorak, baby. Bad time to take a penalty. There's 6:09 left in the third period, and Gallagher takes a high sticking. He's battling for the puck with Nick Seeler, and bloop. But Sealer's glove. Did Sealer like? It was kind of weird. Did he like? Did he get more glove than stick on that high stick? A very odd play. Gallagher on the ice with time running out is equal to Evans. Well, they're on the ice together, right? So that's the. Yeah, exactly. It looked like a glove, right? That he kind of high sticked it and got the glove like that. Very strange play. No wonder Gallagher was upset. Oh, now we got Anderson and Zegras getting into it. Darn, our high-scoring grinder takes a penalty when we need his offense. Why is Galley even on the ice? Good thing it wasn't Jack. He'd be out for 5 games. That's funny. And now we got Anderson and Zegras going to the box. They each get roughing penalties. Not a bad trade-off. That's true. Galley does it because he's tired and frustrated. So our two high-priced third, fourth liners, Anderson and Gallagher, with the team down 2 goals and needing to score here, end up in the penalty box for different reasons, but they end up in the penalty box. Tex up with Susie and Cole. Let's see it. Texe looks like a guy who wants to score another goal tonight, which is more than I can say for some of the other guys. Nice steal by Jake Evans. They caught up to him, but he was able to find Carrier, who just whipped one very wide. But Canadians are killing a penalty, so I mean this entire sequence is going to kill about a minute of that penalty. I'm so frustrated with Evans on the ice in OT. Same. All right, Joe Veleno settles into the zone, gets it to Hudson, who's clearly on the ice all the time now. Hudson's going to play 30. Is he going to play 30 minutes tonight? He's going to get there. So they gave all the minutes to Hudson. Oof. Capping it with a high shot on Villar. He hurt him. Heck of a shot. Oh, right, like kind of under the mask, right? Vladar's still kind of pacing around here. He got Kapanen took the shot, and it kind of got him right under the mask. That'll knock you out for a second. Hudson will be the next high-minute guy worn down and injured. Well, hopefully not. I mean, some of you, hey, there are defensemen in this league that can play, 28 minutes a night. Like, that's par for the course. And these are the guys that get paid the big bucks. And they don't play a particularly physical style, so I feel like they should be able to do it, but they play a lot. I'll give you that much. We're still at 5-on-4 for a couple more seconds. And really, the Flyers were just kind of looking to waste time because they got a 2-goal lead, and we're back to 5-on-5, but there's 4 minutes, exactly 4 minutes to go. Shots are 20-20 now. So the Canadiens did get that magical 18 that you guys were looking for tonight. But we got the top line out in the offensive zone. Another icing for the Flyers. I mean, at this point, the Flyers are just happy to ice the puck. They do not care at all. 3:26 left in the third. 3-1. Time to pull the goalie. Yeah, off he goes. Jacob Fowler goes. So maybe try to win the face-off first. They haven't been too good at face-offs tonight. Maybe try to win the face-off, and then you can pull. But they got an offensive zone face-off. They got Suzuki out against Couturier. They're just going to try to win it. And it's one of those even draws, but it does come back to the Habs. That point shot was tipped by Slavkovsky and out. So now there's a whistle on. So now there's a whistle on the play, and now they're going to a commercial break. So there's 3:18 to go, and Marty has not used his timeout yet, and now he's getting the TV time off. So at this point, I mean, 3:18. I think you just need your top two lines. There's really no reason to see anybody else anymore. You're going for it now. I love Susie, and I know he's getting points, but he seems off his game the last 5 games or so. Yeah, I agree. He's not. He's hurt. Like, we know he's hurt. He's not like bad. He's not badly hurt that he can't play and that he's not going to ruin his streak for it. But he does have a lower body injury from earlier in the season, and I don't think he's 100%. And it's really a testament to how good he is that he's been able to play as well as he has. But he's a guy that I think is definitely looking forward to the winter break. And honestly, if he doesn't get selected to the Olympic team, I will not shed a tear. I do think Suzuki, and this was another reason to keep Dvorak. Dvorak played a lot of crappy minutes that Suzuki's got to play now. Lots of hard defensive zone face-offs and just like killing penalties, and especially when Evans was out. And which is also why I know everybody's like it's a bit controversial, but I do think that you got to consider bringing Phil Deneau back. And it's not even because I think Phil Deneau is individually a particularly good contributor. I do it because I think that Phil Deneau can take a lot of the hard face-offs and a lot of the hard defensive assignments that are assigned to Suzuki right now. So Suzuki can just play offense. It could just score. Right now, he has to play the role more defensive center, and now he's got a guy on his line who can't play, like Bolduc cannot play defense at all. So like you also, like Suzuki, you also took away his best winger. like his best sort of 5-on-5 winger in Slavkovsky. So it's been a whole issue of things, which has resulted in Suzuki being good but not great. All right, we got a nice little rush here. Okay, Dobson gets in the zone. We got the net pulled. Can they get something done here? So Demidov actually goes for the one-timer, and Sanheim blocks him. And another shot deflected out of the net, like off into the mesh. They can't find a hole. They're trying to shoot from the point and get deflections, and there's lots of bodies in front, but they're not getting the pucks through. Oh, you guys were calling the Leafs dead earlier tonight, but look at them. Dano can play the role Dvorak played with more offense and leadership. Well, he can't provide the offense anymore, but I think he can. All right, we got 2:23 left. Pucks exited the zone. Fastest 2 goals in Leafs history. My goodness. No, he can't provide any offense. I don't even care about the offense. I think he'll just, like, by virtue of being on the Habs, might provide more offense because I think he'll just be in a better situation. But no, I literally have him here to take crappy face-offs that I don't want Suzuki taking. That's why I would bring him. He would help Suzuki. That'd be my reason for bringing him in. Toronto media was going to talk about whether they scored or not. They were going to talk about. That's all they were going to talk about. Oof. Hudson crushed by Ristolainen heading to the net, and then Hudson hacked him with his stick on the way up. That's funny. All right, messy face-off won by the Flyers, but can the Habs keep it in? They cannot. And it's an empty netter. I don't think he's going to provide any offense. I literally want him for defense and just to take minutes off of Suzuki. That's really all I want him for. Oy, oy, oy. Well, this one's looking toast. What'd you guys think? This game was boring. This game was boring and bad, and not a good one for the Habs. There are not many positives to take from this game. This loss was very self-inflicted. That's how I would describe it. I didn't think that the Flyers played a good road game. They played a textbook road game when you're not a very talented team, but the Habs just gave it to them. Not impressed with the game tonight. Neither am I, Max. They did not look good. Philly played a good game, took advantage of all our mistakes. They didn't win it so much as we lost it. At least it wasn't Zegras. It was. Well, he scored 1 goal. Oh, you mean the empty netter? What the heck happened to Jacky? Did something happen to Jacky? Not enough effort. Canadiens forward trying to make too many fancy moves. Good game, bad game, good game, bad game. Round and round. Here we go. That is exactly what's been happening for this team after their hot start. So aggravating. Jack bench. I mean, I think they just kind of. I just think they just shortened the bench at the end of the game. I don't know if they benched him, but frustrating loss. Thanks, Eric. Fire MSL. I read that quickly for a second there. I skimmed that and I thought you said thanks MSL. Fire Eric, and I was like, what did I do? I'm not the coach. No, I'm kidding. Danault's not a solution. Too many miles on that frame. That's fair. Eat up the smoked meat, man. I wish I'd. You're making me want to go to Dunn's. You're kidding? Oh, are you kidding about him being benched or about Danault? Because I agree with you about Danault. Texier is younger than Danault. Habs more offense, not another high-paid grinder. That's true. You can't really have Gallagher, Anderson, and Danault taking up all that money on the cap. That's true. Disappointing effort, no excuse. 100%. No one to know. I think that is. Thanks for I kept you awake. Well, go have a nap now. Go have a nap and hopefully some nice. Jack and Enstrom look good tonight. Jack wasn't on the ice for any of the goals against. I know he was good. Should have played more. Oh well. All right, y'all. Last call for. See ya. Have a good night. Danault is 32 and 34 at the end of his contract. Stop acting like he's old. That's old for a hockey player with a lot of miles. Dream of Danault in your sleep and let me know how it goes. I'm going to dream about smoked meat. After Rick was talking about smoked meat, I'm going to dream about smoked meat, not about Danault. Actually, I'm probably going to be dreaming about the Giants signed a guy. The Giants signed a pitcher today, Adrian Hauser. I'm going to dream about new Giants pitcher, new Giants fifth starter, Adrian Hauser instead. It's time they get a new coach. Oh man, we're getting there. They played well on Sunday though. Think about Sunday a little bit, and then we'll balance it out. But tonight was bad. I'll give you that. Thanks, Karen. Thank you so much for joining. Habs are 2-0 in their last two Arbor games. That counts for something. All right, cool. That's that. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you all on Thursday. Have a good night.